And as you lift the hips, squeeze your arms in, or squeeze your knees in more, even more. So hold your elbows in. Yep. Yes. And then look. Yeah. Lift your abdominals a little. Yeah.
Very nice.
Killing it.
Good job.
Go for 3 days.
What are we
Right.
doing?
3 days.
Where's your
Put your feet back down.
Instagram
Right, you should flop back and turn around with the block. It's weird.
Look at the block. You go
Yeah.
right. Go past the block.
And so the
Oh, it wasn't.
I didn't think so.
Here
Okay.
it was.
It's here. It's
And then
here.
the next step from there is to straighten the arms. So what do you think needs to happen when you straighten the arms?
This has to.
Spread the
I know what
shoulder blade.
Spread the shoulder blades.
And you have to engage the core and bring this in, suck the belly button in, because if not, the legs don't. It's just kind of, you drop, you run out of room.
And then the whole posture is to come further forward, right? The forearms straighten and come forward. So you need to have a high mobility in the wrists. Everybody do this with their hand. Do this and pull back. Like so you can move at the wrist. Some of us, I'm not even 90. Look at how much Jeremy can do. So a lot of people, like the ability to do this, unless you have so much strength. Like if you can get to the point where you can just hold your knees on your arms with abdominal strength, like you might be able to straighten, but for the shoulders got to come way further forward, which means there's more mobility here. Can we look at this in your body?
I was gonna ask too, just because of, I can get my knees up here and inside. I was wasn't sure if I was doing this right when I come through here and.
His arms are
Yeah, look at his wrists.
Oh, and there's
See, so he can just lay his knees on his arms. But come around this way so you can see, don't come in yet, the front of his shoulders. So he's got a lot, like his deltoids, these muscles here are developed. So it looks a little bit more like his shoulder is rounding forward because the muscles are really big. Does that make sense? Especially the front side of it, the anterior. So when he squeezes, he was talking about putting his knees on the back of your arms. That's what you were asking, right? So a couple of things we've talked about with Howard. Do you guys remember when we were working on upward facing bow and trying to get more mobility here? Squeezing the knees outside the arm. So I think you can take the knees to the back of the arm. What I like to see is taking it slightly outside of the arm and then pulling this back, especially because you're a little bit more rotated this way. So if you take it here, and before you go anywhere, take it there and squeeze in. Do you see how that pulls all of that back and is more stable for the shoulder joint? He's got so much strength, I don't think it matters. But for him to balance there, he's got to bring the shoulders really far forward.
How's your watch?
That makes sense? Yeah. So some people may be able to do that. Some people, it obviously requires a lot of strength too, but most postures when the arms are straighter, it's actually easier to hold yourself because the bones take the weight.
It feels like once it gets to that point, it's like, nah, we're just trying to stay at that region.
You're just balancing.
Yeah, I'm just trying to stay.
Yeah, like he's working for sure, all of this stuff, but when the arms get straight, it's actually easier to hold the posture for longer. But finding the balance and staying there is hard.
How do your wrists feel?
Good, good. Yeah, I think that's part of the issue too when I do handstand. Like we mentioned before, sometimes I'm kind of far forward, and because it doesn't bother me, I think I'm going sometimes too far. Having to keep myself back this way because I start doing that.
And this is where, Oren was asking about hyper extension of the elbow. That's a real hyper extension of the wrist. You know what I mean? But we don't get concerned about it there. I think we should a little bit for sustainability of practice.
Yeah.
You know, he has a lot of muscular bulk that holds him up. But if somebody doesn't and you can straighten the arms like that and just shift your weight forward, I would be concerned about dumping all of that weight into a hyperextended wrist. long term. Does that make sense? But you can see how he was like, he could pull his knees up into handstand. He's using the rest of his body a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah? Cool.
He's so strong.
Yeah.
I've been trying every day. I've been,
He
every
practices
day I've just
so
been
much.
trying to ill sit, just been working every day just trying to do that. I only do like 10 minutes of it because I can't take, like it's 10 minutes straight, it's like, okay, I can't do no more. So it's like, it starts